Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you had a good weekend. You got lots of playtime in, and you spent lots of good quality time with your loved ones. My hat's off to all of the parents out there who have school-age kids that will not be going to school because of COVID-19 and because you are doing the right thing and self-isolating. So I'm dedicating the rundown to all of the parents out there and, of course, to all of the healthcare workers and first responders every day on the rundown, and every essential worker out there who is putting themselves in harm's way and hopefully being as safe as possible to provide us all with help and assistance. And we are very grateful for you. Let's get started with your rundown. There's more reason to hope that you'll be playing next-gen games before the end of the year. Sony doesn't think the PS5 will be delayed as a result of COVID-19. Speaking with Bloomberg, an unnamed Sony spokesperson says that the manufacturing delays caused by COVID-19 won't have any notable impact on the launch of the new console, which is still officially scheduled for holiday 2020. It's worth pointing out that this is just an unnamed spokesperson and not an official statement from the Sony higher-ups, but this still comes as welcome news. Last week, GameStop CEO also promised that the new systems are still on schedule, so everything seems all right, at least for now. And, like I've speculated, I think that we probably have been ramping up in terms of being able to hit the quotas and get the supply chains all kind of figured out. But I do feel like there's probably been some ripples and some, deviations on where the numbers should have been. So I would not be surprised even if we get these machines this year, which would be great. But I would not be surprised if we don't get as many of them. So they might be a little bit harder to pick up. People that are kind of mulling about whether they want to pre-order a new console or not, there's intimations that pre-orders are going to be happening very soon. I think some independent retailers have already started to put up pre-order kind of opportunities out there. So if you have the means and you're very excited about getting the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, you may want to jump on that if you can. But you know what? I mean, by 2021, there will be plenty of consoles for everyone out there.
I guess we'll find out soon enough.
It sounds like loads and loads of new Mario adventures are coming down the pipe. Nintendo is rumored to be working on several big Mario projects for later this year, coinciding with the 35th anniversary of Super Mario Bros. On the NES. According to Eurogamer, Nintendo is working on a combination of new games as well as re-releases of classic games for the Switch. They include an all-new Paper Mario, the first in more than 4 years, along with a Switch port of the original Wii game Super Mario Galaxy. The idea is apparently to have all the major back-catalog Mario titles playable on the Switch before year's end, so fingers crossed for Mario 64 as well. Keep in mind that no official announcements have been made, but this does sound like a good way to celebrate Mario's anniversary in style. What a joy it would be to be able to kind of peruse through the whole back catalog without having to hook up all kinds of old classic systems, which is still fun, don't get me wrong. But it would be rad to have all of that stuff instantly available on the Nintendo Switch. So many great games. And you know what I've been discovering, because I've been playing a lot of retro stuff recently for the 16-bit superhero segment and other things. It's really fun to jump back into some of these classic games and re-examine them from your kind of new perspective, your new kind of view on the world. And the Switch already offers that through the online program. Being able to play Super Nintendo and NES stuff is fantastic. But as I say again and again, there's so much value in some of this classic stuff, and there's so much value in you as a modern gamer sort of perusing and jumping into some of this classic stuff and seeing if you dig it in a different way, or if you like something now that you didn't back then, which was the case when I reviewed The Adventures of Batman and Robin for the Sega Genesis. I wasn't a big fan when it first came out because it didn't feel like Batman, and in my review, I was like, this is freaking incredible. I don't think there's too many people that would go out on a limb and say that the Mario games have been disappointing. I think that's a pretty proven, known quantity, but still, it will be incredible to have a nice, huge Mario collection on the Nintendo Switch. How about you get us some folders for our front-end menus there, Nintendo, so we can make a Mario folder. The iconic animated tale Dragon's Lair is coming back for a new adventure. Netflix has picked up the rights to make a new adaptation of Don Bluth and Rick Dyer's interactive animated classic. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the new version will be live action instead of animation and star none other than Ryan Reynolds as the heroic knight Dirk the Daring on a quest to rescue Princess Daphne from the evil dragon Singe. The live-action aspect comes as a bit of a surprise. The original Dragon's Lair revolutionized animation when it was first released in 1983, essentially blending animated movies and video games. Using Laserdisc technology, players could guide Dirk on his quest, shifting between different pre-drawn animated sequences depending on which course of action they picked. It was basically one long QuickTime event.
The thing that I got off on at the time, I remember, was all the times that you fail to play the game correctly, and maybe you have to die. So how can we make this little knight die in such a way that you laugh at it?
There were also ports for home consoles that used traditional video game graphics. Then in 2002, a fully 3D version of Dragon's Lair was released. Hopefully the live-action version will be able to recapture the magic of the original. And I know that this has been a long time coming. Don Bluth and Rick Dyer were talking about getting Dragon's Lair into the movie theaters and potentially as a TV show over many, many, many years because it was such an amazing creation. And for those of us that were around, and able to go into arcades when Dragon's Lair came out, it was just absolutely mind-blowing to see a playable cartoon. There was always a massive group of people around every machine that I saw in the arcades back then, and it was absolutely incredible. The gameplay left a lot to be desired for sure. I always thought it was a little bit cheap, and the timing was always a little bit clunky, but it was just such sublime technology, especially because in the time when Dragon's Lair came out, the idea of taking a movie home or being able to watch things that we would see in movie theaters in any other place was just incredible, and it kind of helped to lead to the inevitability of the Laserdisc system being a home video platform, which led to DVD and Blu-ray and all the other stuff. There was a lot of incredible work that went into Dragon's Lair. I'm just really happy for Don Bluth and Rick Dyer and everybody that's been involved with Dragon's Lair over the years, all the super fans out there. The late and great Sid Bolton was a massive fan of Dragon's Lair, so I know that he would be just beaming right now with the news that Ryan Reynolds is going to be Dirk the Daring. And hopefully, in addition to a live-action, adaptation, there's also some kind of an animated piece that's also released through this. Maybe they're going to kind of employ the idea of somebody playing the video game, and he's the live-action version of the animated Dirk the Daring or something like that, and he's got to do all that stuff. I don't know, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun, though. It's certainly a great property. Grab your whip and break out your wall chicken because a more bloody animated tale is coming back to Netflix. The streaming giant has officially renewed their Castlevania Anime series for a 4th season.
Good boy.
They haven't revealed a premiere window yet or how many episodes we'll get. The previous seasons have fluctuated between 4 and 10 episodes.
Are you sure?
Either way, fans will be happy that more Castlevania is on the way, especially given the cliffhanger finale of the last season. Now, if we could just get a new 2D Castlevania video game.
Let me take care of it.
I loved the first season of this Castlevania show, but I have to be honest, I'm way behind. I haven't picked up on the subsequent seasons, but I definitely plan to during our inside time. I loved what I saw before, and I just think that this take is just so cool, and yes, gory and violent and shocking, but wonderfully made and clearly made with a degree of love for the source material and a real passion to build something that is going to get people talking.
I'm a simple man with simple pleasures.
Kudos to all of the filmmakers, all the people involved in making this show. It keeps going and going and going, which is great news for people that love video games and people that love the idea of video games being adapted to other media. If you like Nier Automata, here's your chance to go back and revisit the first game in the franchise. Square Enix has announced a remastered version of the original Nier game, first released in 2010 on the PS3 and Xbox 360. The new version, called Nier Replicant, is coming to the PS4 and Xbox One, offering improved visuals and audio, although we're still waiting to find out if there will be any gameplay differences. They may want to speed things up a bit. The original Nier was a little more slow-paced than its more successful sequel, Nier Automata, which was handled by a different developer, Platinum Games. It will be interesting to see how the original feels now that we've all gotten used to the sequel.
Perhaps we're not so different after all.
Yeah, Nier was an okay game. I remember reviewing that back in the day. I don't remember much about it, but I remember thinking that it had some pretty cool aesthetics and great character stuff. But I wasn't nearly as captivated by it as I was by Nier Automata. I much preferred Platinum Games' direction. It was just such a trippy, mind-bending experience with awesome action elements. I love Nier Automata. It will be fun to kind of revisit this game, though. It will be, like I've been talking about, it's nice to go back from a different vantage point, and certainly, you know, the lore is embellished, and yeah, I want to play Nier Automata again as well, man. That was such an incredible game. So maybe Square Enix is like really working here to try to make Nier an ongoing franchise, and I don't have a problem with that at all.
We take pride in our service.
All right, you guys, that's going to do it for our rundown today. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new episode for you. But in the meantime, we've got lots of reviews and feature content for you to check out, some classic stuff as well. Please do that. And if you like our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can hit the like button on this video if you like this one. And please share this material with whoever you would like. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you soon. And until then, play forever.